Welcome to Walk the Line. I'm your host, OG Chris Murray, man. We right back at it again. We're in the postseason in the DML. You already know what time it is, man. It's Road to Greatness, where me and my co-host that will be joining me today will be breaking down the top six teams who we feel like have the best opportunity and the best shot, to achieve greatness at basically pretty much getting that banner and also getting that trophy at the end of this postseason. So let me introduce my cast that's joining me today, man. Number one, we got my man, Mr. Freddie Jackson, the owner of those New England Patriots. What's going on, the Schemer?
What's up? Happy to be here.
Next up, man, we got my man. It's always good when he jump on the show. Me, Westside Pablo, the owner of those New York Giants. What's going on, Westside Pablo?
What's up, man? You already know I'm right here sitting on the couch watching these playoffs.
Yeah, man, that was a crazy game, man. Crazy game today against, you and those 49ers, man. You seem like your team got hit with the injury bug, man. Like, dude just started dropping off like flies.
For real. I felt like it was almost like every other play, it seemed like. QB out for 9 weeks after, like, the first couple minutes of the game. It was just kind of... I mean, my backup's not bad, but... It just kind of like he can't make all those throws. It's all right though. I mean, Sweets is a good opponent. You know what I mean? It's all right.
Man, the Schemer, man, what's going on with you, man, and the Patriots this season, man? It seems like y'all was heading in, a good direction. Then y'all just made an alternative route and just started the decline this season. What was going on?
Man, look, I mean, we just had one of our worst seasons. We lost all the close games. I missed a chip shot field goal against the Jets, lost 10-9. Got sacked when I was in position for a field goal against the Texans. That's SJ, lost 16-14. You got to win the close games in this one. High stakes come, look out. Third down going to be a lot better.
Okay. So we ain't going to hold the people up, man. We're going to sit here, man. Let's dive into this list. Cracking the list, man, coming at the number 6 spot, we have Matty Ice and those Philadelphia Eagles, man. Right now, Matty pretty much finished the season off 14-2. Had a great season. He was balling on all levels. Daddy Lee had him ranked third in points, per game, putting up 31 points on the offensive side of the ball. Ranked 4th in yards per game, putting up a total of 327 yards per game. And on the defensive side of the ball, he was ranked 18th, giving up, 21 points per game. His top threat, man, throughout this whole season, and in my opinion, who elevated his team on the defensive side of the ball was Myles Garrett. This dude was balling on all cylinders this season, man. Like I'm telling you, he was the guy that you had to know where he was located at on the defensive side of the ball. He was the guy that you had to make sure that you were double teaming him every single time, because he finished the season with a whopping 24 sacks. Was wreaking havoc. Every quarterback, was fearing this guy, because this was a guy that we did not want to feel that hit from. Now, Westside, I'm going to come to you first on this one, man. This is the guy that you play against. This is your division mate. You play against him twice a year. Do you feel like Myles Garrett, elevated that defense and pretty much is putting Matty Ice in a position of being able to make that run that he wished and that he's hoping that he can make this postseason and raise his first banner in the DML?
I mean, I think it definitely helps, I mean, his team is already pretty solid and fast at every position. So, I mean, just adding him, it kind of just takes the pressure off of the other D linemen. So, I mean, you really can't double team him. I mean, you're going to have to, keep a running back to block. You know what I mean? You're going to be limited on your routes. I mean, he has speed at DB position. His free safety, I think, is I don't even know how fast. And, I mean, just with that pressure defense, I mean, those block sheds, they're quick. You know what I mean? So if you're not blocking, if you don't know where you're going with the ball, if you're going to sit there and wait, he's going to get you. You know what I mean? You kind of got to be quick with it. I mean, and then on the flip side, I mean, he feeds off of that to his offense. His defense makes stops, makes plays, and his offense gets rolling. You know what I mean? So that's why you see him in the top 5, and passing, and he has a good offense. It's really explosive.
So we can say the offense is actually matching the defense with this team right here. It's not like, there's a weak link. Like, you have some teams that have a solid offense, but the defense team, they can't stop looking at anything. So all around, this is do you feel like all around, I'm coming to you on this one, the Schemer, do you feel like as far as an all-around team, this is the most solid team that we're seeing in the playoffs to date in the DML?
I think it's one of them. It's not the most solid team.
Okay.
But one of the keys you got to work on. That's why I don't pick him to win the Super Bowl. He's 32% in third down. If he can find a way to pick it up, on third down, like I said, has been a key in this league. He's 30, like I said, once again, 32% on third down when everybody else, pretty much in the playoffs is above him in third down percentage. But there's this guy named Mike Evans. Mike Evans has been a freak of nature. Like he's 25 years old right now. So maybe he's just saying, okay, you know what? I'm going to play the low percentage game, throwing balls to Mike Evans, hoping he come down with one of them out of 3 tries. Maybe that's the game right now because, you got add in the Saints, who's a nemesis. You got the 49ers. Guys pretty solid on defense. And the rest of the playoffs. Whoever gets to the Super Bowl on the AFC side is loaded with defense. Loaded. So I think right now you need to stay up to 2 o'clock at night and work on some third down plays because the defense is loaded. The defense is loaded. So you got to be ready. You don't expect to come in and score no 31 points. But I don't want to take his confidence away. You got the guy Mike Evans, man. You got to ride him out.
Yeah, see, I want to chime in real fast. The one thing I like about this, this Philadelphia Eagles team, man, that stands out to me and I love it, is this. He gets everybody involved, man. It's like he has a solid run game. He has a solid passing game. He just, revamped Mike Evans because this dude balled out this season. Getting over 1,500 receiving yards and getting over, 15 receiving touchdowns. So he brought him in and he automatically just clicked right into Matty Ice's system. But like you said, it seemed like I'll piggyback on what you mentioned. That third down conversion percentage is very low. And like you mentioned, it's the playoff time. Everybody that he's going to be going up against, man, like you said, has a solid defense. So I think that Matty Ice, man, is going to have to figure out how to convert on third down, man, just flat out, But listen, that team, man, is loaded. They can make a run for it, man. It will be crazy, Any team can make a run for it. It's gonna be crazy. But moving on, man. Coming in at the number 5 slot, we have Mr. Sweets 99 on San Francisco 49ers. Sweets 99, man, was doing exactly what he pretty much predicted himself to do this season. Had an okay season, took his division, which, he's been taking it since the start of this cycle. But Mr. Sweets, had a tough matchup today, man. I'm going to jump right into it, man. He had a tough matchup today against those New York Giants, which, in the first half looked like Westside, man. You was going to pull away with it, but your team couldn't overcome the injury bug, man. So fill me in, man. Give me that first-hand basis of Mr. Sweets 99 on San Francisco 49ers. Westside?
I mean, when we came out, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to try to jump on them, try to get a lead, my defense is playing pretty good this season. I mean, interceptions, I feel like everybody just snagging the ball once it's in the air. They all, basically, get to the football. But, I don't know, it just, once the injuries started happening, and, his run game is really solid, and he knows how to use his stick skills with the running back, and he was just even my user was getting juked out, and it was I was trying to break down and make the tackle. I feel like maybe it was just today, but I think his passing game needs to be a little bit better, especially in the playoffs. I know it's he could keep the game at his pace with the run game, but I feel like his pass game struggled today. I try to feed off that, but man, my team and my quarterback couldn't make the throws, and then it just kind of fell apart after that.
Yeah, man, watching that game definitely was one of those games where, like you said, man, the passing game struggled. But, one thing I like about the DML and these users, all these users on this list, first off, man, we give a big shout out to everybody that made the playoffs this season, because that's not very, easy to do in the DML, man, because the level of competition is through the roof, But one thing I like about, Sweets 99 and everybody on this list, and one thing that stands out is a lot of these guys on this list knows how to adjust. So even though, the pass game, for example, he fell down, I believe, 13-7, he was able to adjust his game, to where he understood something wasn't working, and he came out and he was just grounding and pounding. Then once, he established the run game, then he started picking it apart and start, picking, his spots as far as when he's going to throw the ball or when he's going to sit there and throw a play action play in the mix. So I love watching these guys play, especially everybody on this list. I keep mentioning it, play in the postseason because a lot of guys, just know how to come out with a game plan. If it doesn't work, they have an alternative plan to sit there and adjust their game to where they can come out with the W. And in this matchup right here, sorry, man, we couldn't see that New York Giants team, the full healthy team, because y'all was looking good. I was watching that game. Y'all was looking good up to the point where everybody just started dropping off like flies, But that team's going to be back there next year because that team is solid. But Sweets, man, he played a good game today. But what's the schemer, man? What's your thoughts on Sweets coming at the number 5 slot?
Well, I got Sweets going to the Super Bowl. So number 5 spot.
Dang. You gonna put him in the Super Bowl?
Number 5, he got a great chance. So I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay,
this guy came in throwing picks and was winning at the same time in the first part of the DML for the Madden 19 cycle. Since Sam Darnold was traded for, so I know the Jets are listening, you might have traded this guy a trophy as well. He has more touchdowns than INTs. On the defensive side of the ball, Solomon Thomas has 18.5 sacks alone. That's going to be dominant. That's the player like that can get you back into the game. 61% completion percentage for Sam Darnold is good enough for the way Sweets play because he will take his chances downfield. He didn't quite make the top 10 in sack totals, but 56 sacks as a team, that's good enough to get you to the playoffs, get you through the playoffs. Right now, during this campaign here in 2024, he scored 394 points, gave up 286. So he's outscoring his opponents. He has the formula for success, the way Hines is running the ball, 5.2 yards to carry. I don't see not one reason, except for a last-minute drive, maybe by adding 5 with somebody or the Eagles, that he can't go to the Super Bowl.
Now, this is the thing right here with something that you didn't mention that I have been paying attention to since Sweets 99 has basically pretty much been playing in the playoffs this whole cycle. He has not yet been able to keep his team healthy. Like, soon he gets either that week or two before the postseason or when he's playing the short game in the postseason, somebody, key player, just falls off and gets hurt. This team right now is at 100% healthy. All his guys are healthy. So this is, the 49ers team that, we are basically getting a glimpse of what all these guys together, what they can do. So I think that Sweets, man, is definitely going to be dangerous this postseason, man. He can continue to keep his guys healthy, man. So Sweets, man, this could be your run, man. Coming at that number 5 spot, man. But we ain't gonna spend too much time on it. We got the number 4 guy coming in. We have KP and the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, KP last year, man, had a great season. He went undefeated. This year, he went 13-3, which is still a great season. He took the division crown out there in the AFC, and Daddy Lee had him ranked. God damn. Woo! First in points per game, putting up a total of 38 points. 38, ladies and gentlemen. 38 out of the ball. His defense is only allowing a total of 17 points per game, which have them ranked 6th in the DML. Now, the Saints, my fault, sorry about that. The Chiefs, KP and the Chiefs, man. This team, by far, number 1 on paper, offense on paper, I'm going with the New York Giants. West Side Problem, I'm going with your team. Because y'all solid all around the board. But at the number 2 slot, man, I strongly agree that the Kansas City Chiefs, man, by far, on paper, are the best offensive team in the DML, man. But this week he's going up against Bruce and those Baltimore Ravens, man, which is the rematch of the AFC Championship last year. The scheme, I'm coming to you on this one because you got a chance to play this guy this season. What's your thoughts on KP and these Chiefs coming in at the number 4 slot and rule the greatness?
Well, based on what happened last year, I kind of agree with this spot. It could end differently. KP is led the league in INTs. That is dangerous going into the playoffs with a high-powered offense led by Mahomes and Tyreek Hill. You might as well add Foster to that too, and seriously, because them guys are the 3-headed monsters, like I said before. These guys are great. Along with that, he scored 621 points, only gave up 281 with a 13-3 record. His third down percentage is actually 45. The way he plays, 45 is good. You know, he's not a grounded out, pounded. He don't pound it all day where you get like, you know, a high percentage of third down. Mm-hmm. Right now, the bad thing about it, he got nemesis in his way. The Dolphins and the Ravens. So can he come up with a game plan? Can he come up with something they never seen? These guys are user pickers. The defenses are always in good position even when they don't pick it. You know, you going up against Pike, who led the league in sacks. He's in your way with 68 sacks this season. Can you find time for Tyreek Hill to do damage? Can you add somebody else into the mix in the clutch time? So that's going to be the key for him. Can you put all this together and outthink your opponent? Because them defenses are hungry, man.
Gotcha, man. I'm going to come to you on this one, West Side. All right, now he's going up against the Baltimore Ravens, right? With this, you know, the Ravens, by far, man, strictly defensive team, you know. And KP, looking at Patrick Mahomes, he gave up a total of 46 sacks. He was sacked 46 times this year. Do you think in the playoffs that can cost him this matchup going up against that high-powered defensive Baltimore Ravens team?
Playing at Baltimore, I think his best chance going against that defense is going to be get the ball out of that hand as quick as possible and establishing a run game and controlling the pace of the game. I mean, don't get me wrong, you got Tyreek Hill, so you got to throw it up. But at the same time, every possession is critical. I mean, you can try to take a deep, you know, real quick, 1 minute left in the second quarter, and maybe he gets an interception. You never know. You know, that could be it's points. You know, it could be a field goal. I mean, I think it's going to be every possession played just like a chess game. You know, trying to figure out if he's bringing pressure, if he's dropping back, if he has a short throw that maybe he could turn that 2-yard pass to a first down, 10-yard gain. But I think it's going to be get the ball out of your hands as quick as possible or establish that run game to go along with a nice balanced attack where it keeps him on his toes. Because, I mean, that defense is tough. I mean, he's a Super Bowl champ, you know? Can't take any, not just anybody in the playoffs, but, I mean, he's a champ on top of that. So it's like, kind of got to, you know, don't overlook it. You have to come correct. That's a good matchup, though. That's going to be a good matchup.
Yo, I think by far this is going to be one of the most solid matchups in the postseason because both of these guys, first off, you got to remember, like I said before, this is a rematch from the AFC Championship game last season. So I know both guys is coming with a little bit of extra, you know, extra aggressiveness in this matchup because KP felt like you know he should have came away with the game, and Bruce is trying to make his back-to-back run at his second banner in the DML. So this is going to be a very important game right here. I'm telling you, everybody needs to tune into this one because it's going to be a good one. I'm telling you right now. But coming in at the number 3 spot, moving on, we got Tyreek and the Miami Dolphins. Now, Tyreek had a great season this year. He finished 15-1, took the division crown. Daddy Lee has him ranked 5th in points per game, putting up 27 points, having ranked 20th in yards per game, putting up a total of 278. But on the defensive side of the ball, they have him ranked number 1 with points allowed, only allowing a total of 10 points per game. Now, when you talk Miami football, you have to talk Cedric Sharp. This guy is a beast. Like, it's just what it is. This dude is a beast. He is the oil that keeps the Miami Dolphins defensive machine going. He finished this season with a total of 21 sacks and 3 forced fumbles. The dude was wreaking havoc on all quarterbacks that he was pretty much going up against, and whoever was blocking him was like, I'm talking about, it was light as a feather. Because I watched one game, man, this dude threw one guy off him with one arm, like he was a baby, like get out of my way. And the quarterback, from the moment the quarterback hiked the ball and took one step back, he was in the backfield. So this is a guy, man, I think that, you know, will continue to cause havoc out here, you know, in the playoffs. But a lot of guys think that, you know, I humbled myself, you know, and I said that Tyreek established a passing game. But the schemer, I'm coming to you on this one, man. Are you buying into the Miami Dolphins passing game? Do you actually think that it's effective as a lot of people think, or you think that it's just a fluke? Because this is a guy who played against 2 times out of the game.
Personally, I think it's just the quarterback he has. That's why he drafted Reeves. This guy's a dual threat, like a little baby Russell Wilson. Passing game is effective when you got to sit there and worry about him scrambling. He buys time. He could take off at any point in time. Mm-hmm. So having a dual threat can help open up your passing game. But we know Mr. Tight Work. We know him as Mr. Defense. The man had 68 sacks to lead the league. Number one. Only gave up 174 points. Helping him reach this 15-1 mark. And like you said about Sharp, people going to concentrate on him, maybe slide a tight end over. But that's not it. You also got, the guy named Malcolm James, who's a rookie, had a 12-sack season. And there's one guy on defense who's the captain of the defense. I need him to retire. Fitzpatrick. For the third time, this guy has posted double-digit interceptions. 10. For the third time in his career under the great defensive master, Tight Work. So, the defense is going to be there. But what can you do to game plan and slow down Reeves from being a double threat is going to be the key.
Got you. The West Side. Now, the Schemer just mentioned, Reeves. All right. This season, Reeves was sacked. Even though he is a dual threat quarterback, he was sacked a total of 36 times, and he threw 21 interceptions. Do you think sometimes, even though you're putting together those, win after win after win after win after win, sometimes that even though, you had a good season, do you think that sometimes the good record overshadows the actual struggles of the player? Because Reeves, looking at his stats, man, is like nothing stands out. He seems like he's just a quarterback that can pretty much manage the game and sometimes don't cost you the game. Because like I said, he had been sacked 36 times and he threw a total of 21 interceptions. And he only threw a total of 18 touchdowns. So right now, his INT percentage is leading over his touchdown percentage. So do you think that sometimes the winning record can overshadow a struggling player?
I think so. Just because I feel that his team in Miami is not really known for a passing type offense. So I feel like, if you want to beat the Dolphins, and Tight Work, you got to play mistake-free football on the offensive side, and on defense, you have to stop the run game. His team as a team led the league in rushing with 2,067. You know what I mean? It just shows you. He throws 21 interceptions, but it could be like in the time of the game he was up by 2 touchdowns. You know what I mean? Maybe he was just trying a new play, or he just tried to, maybe catch you slipping in a certain coverage, and this accuracy on the QBs, kind of suspect sometimes, So it could have been those where it will straight to the defender, overthrow. You know what I mean? It happens. But I feel like that doesn't even matter. You know what I mean? I wouldn't even worry about his offense. I don't even think he's ever been known to, really get you on the pass game. It just sets it up because his run game is so nice. You don't know who's going to run the ball. His quarterback, his running back, even his fullback runs nice.
Yep,
you know what I mean? So it's crazy. Like you got to play mistake-free football and stop his run and try to make him one-dimensional because his pass game could be suspect. But I still wouldn't sleep on it, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, not at all. And this week he's going up against, basically pretty much a person that he has been. These dudes, you might as well say it's a rivalry because they've been playing against each other since the beginning of this cycle, going back and forth. And no Jacksonville Jaguars are experts, so this is gonna be a good one because expert is going to enter this matchup without Dak Prescott. So I'm interested to see this game also, man. So it's gonna be a good one. But let's move on, man. Coming at the number 2 slot, we have Bruce and the Baltimore Ravens. Now, Bruce is the defending DML Super Bowl champ. Didn't leave nothing to chance this season. He came out, with that fire still lit. Finished the season 14-2. Daily has him ranked on the offensive side of the ball, 10th in points per game, putting up 25 points. Has him ranked 17th in yards per game, putting up 282 yards per game. But on the defensive side of the ball, this is the number 2 defense in the DML. He is ranked second and only allowing 11 points per game. Now, I ask people this all the time when I talk about this Baltimore Ravens team, man. And Bruce, put 100 shots through my statement. Defense wins championships in the DML, man. This guy, after taking over this Baltimore Ravens organization, reconstructed this whole roster. Man. Whether it was him making some question mark moves as far as trade-wise, draft picks, letting guys walk, resigning guys, like, it was a lot of question marks. But this is a guy that was painting a portrait, and he understood that this was going to be a masterpiece. Even though that some people was looking a little confused at his portrait, he understood that when he got finished out there in Baltimore, that this was going to be considered a DML masterpiece, and he has proven it season after season after season. The Schemer, is this the most fair team in the playoffs right now?
Yeah, I mean, AFC side-wise, you have to say yes. Because he's unpredictable.
Okay. A
lot of guys are very predictable, even some of the best players. You don't know what this guy's going to do. He's going to run the ball left, run the right, run off the tackle, in between the guard and the center. You don't know if he's going to roll with the quarterback, scramble a little bit. You don't know if he's going to throw left, midfield, deep down the field. And to go along with that, these two defensive ends that start, Graves and Klein, combined for 33 sacks. That's a lot to handle. He's not going to give up much. You got to earn every single penny against this guy. And he doesn't, everybody turns the ball over. He does have more interceptions, than he has touchdowns. But like you said about the Dolphins, guys that rely on defense, they don't mind, like this guy here, Bach, had 15 touchdowns and 17 INTs. Now, what makes the Ravens really stand out is that out of the teams we're talking about that's in the playoffs that has the best chance on the road to greatness, he has the highest third down percentage. And him being unpredictable kind of leads to that at 46%. And he had 66 sacks, which was second in the league behind tight working the Dolphins. And he also gave 176 points, which is 2 points more than the Dolphins. So unless KP can get it together with the Chiefs, look for a rematch. In terms, not really a rematch, but look for the Dolphins and the Ravens to be in the AFC Championship game.
Okay, so we'll come to you, Westside Pablo. Now, he's entering this matchup without superstar running back Alex Collins, who's still sidelined due to injury. Do you think that Todd Gurley is the key? Do you think that Todd Gurley, after those, horrible seasons out there in LA with the Rams, do you think that he's the guy that can put this Baltimore Ravens offense on his shoulders and carry them through the road of greatness?
He's going to be a definitely key factor in his offensive scheme. He's going to, his whole season, he has a good balanced attack, So, he pretty much has a solid run game to go with a pretty decent pass game. So like he said, like Schemer said, he's pretty unpredictable, so he kind of keeps you on your toes. But again, I think he's one of those players where he feeds off of his defense. His defense creating turnovers, his defense getting the ball back for him, putting him in position to score or have better opportunities to be in scoring position. I feel like it's a team that puts pressure on you. You don't know what edge he's coming off of. He stops the run pretty well. And you're not going to score easily on him. So you have to play mistake. You have to play mistake-free football. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be a tough grind, but I expect him to win.
Gotcha. I'm looking forward to it too, man. This is gonna be every matchup right now by far is must-watch football in the DML. Like for everybody that's tuning in, man, I'm telling you, when those streams drop, you better tune in. Cause this is what the DML, what makes the DML so special, man, because you have from the top users down to the bottom tier users. Dudes come out and compete, man. Like nobody's just gonna roll over and just take it in this league, man. So I'm feeling good watching these games, man. But moving on to the number one slot, which I'm pretty sure that everyone predicted this after seeing this guy rip and run through this goddamn season. It's 85 and 0 Saints, man. 85, took a devastating loss last year in the postseason. But every time we think that this team's going to fall off, he just come right back and repeat the same exact thing. He finished the season 15-1. Daddy Lee has him ranked second in points per game, putting up 32 points. Has him ranked pretty much second in yards per game, putting up 362 yards. And on the defensive side of the ball, he's ranked third in points allowed, only giving up a total of 12 points. Now, after watching this Saints team this year, one thing that is very exciting is the Saints are finally entering the postseason with their number one threat on the offensive side of the ball 100% healthy, and he's ready to ball. Millie, if nobody know who this guy is, y'all better tune in to him, because this is a guy who is dangerous. He finished the season getting over 2,000 receiving yards, and he broke the DML receiving touchdown record, going off for a total of 28 receiving touchdowns. At Westside, you stocked at the wide receiver position out there in New York. How much of an impact can Nilly make on 85 making his run for DML, another DML banner, that ever since he made that three-peat run, he has not yet been on the podium holding that trophy up? How much of an impact can Nilly make in this postseason to have Eddie achieve greatness this postseason?
It's big, man. I mean, his defense is pretty well-rounded on offense, his running game is nice. You better just hope that he has a bad game or Mario is having some overthrows. I mean, because unless you can force some turnovers, that guy's going to get open. Yeah, I mean, you have to have good cover skills. You have to have speed. I honestly don't think there's really that many people in the DML that can stop his pass game. So you just got to hope he has a bad game, to be honest. I mean, and that receiver, I mean, he's nice. I mean, he catches everything. Traffic, he's not really dropping much. I mean, right, he catches it on impact. I mean, he's holding on to it. Like, I mean, he's a clutch player.
Okay.
I mean, with his running backs on top of it, I mean, good luck. I mean, if you really bite on the play action, I mean, he's gone.
Okay, now I'm coming to you now, this team. Okay, so we talked about the offense. Let's talk about this defense out there in New Orleans, because I tell everybody, man, I've been watching this guy play for multiple cycles, man. Everybody thinks, when they think about Eddie, they mention offense. This guy is a defense-minded coach. I'm telling you that right now, man. I'm telling you. He prides on his defense, man. I'm telling you that. When you mention guys like Will Clemens, who's a 99 overall at the middle linebacker position, Marshawn Lattimore, all right, who's at 99 overall at the cornerback position. With two guys like that, right, roaming the field, do you kind of feel like, as a user, your confidence level boosts through the roof, having two guys that can? That's just the guy that stands out. But this New Orleans Saints defense is stacked across the board, down from the front four back to the secondary. They're stacked. But when you got guys out there that's just pretty much doing their thing, whereas though you ain't got to worry about using them, even if you choose to use them, they doing their thing. That boosts your confidence through the roof a little bit.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I mean, to me, when I look at the Saints, it starts with Lattimore. When you got a shutdown corner, it allows the other guys to operate on the defense. It makes things easy for them. Gotcha. But when you got a guy with Clemens with 6 INTs and 9 sacks, this guy's a dual threat, and it seems like he's like the captain of the defense. And you got Davenport, who had 16 sacks coming off the edge. This team is loaded, man. I mean, whenever you got a guy who can play defense and offense, it's going to be very frustrating. Very, very frustrating. Now, what surprises me is he only was 23rd in INTs. He only had 30. But the guy is very smart. He's not about the stats on the defense. He's keeping you in front. He's making you work and taking away the big plays. You don't see too many big plays against this guy. Now, what I do like about him, he was above 40% on third down conversions, coming in at 42%, 15-1. But on the NFC side, he scored more points than anybody as far as in the playoffs, 516 points. And he only gave 193. How do you game plan for that? It's gonna be tough. So you got to get your offensive line ready. You got to have your cornerbacks ready, your linebackers ready. Man, it's gonna be a war. Now, he has to go against Sweets. Sweets knows how to play this guy. So all these guys in the playoffs is not a sure thing. Not a sure thing at all. Somebody has a nemesis in front of them right now. Matty Ice got to get past the Saints. The Saints got to get past the Sweets. So it's gonna be tough on that NFC side.
It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one, man. But for everybody that's tuning in, if you missed the top 6 list, we're gonna go back over it. We had Matty Ice coming in at the number 6 slot. We had Sweets coming in at the number 5 slot with the San Francisco 49ers. We had KP and the Kansas City Chiefs coming in at the number 4 slot. We had Tightwork and those Miami Dolphins coming in at the number 3 slot. And we had Bruce, the defending DML Super Bowl champ, coming in with those Baltimore Ravens at the number 2 slot. And Mr. 3-Pete himself, 85, and the New Orleans Saints coming in at the number 1 slot. Now, before we close out, y'all, Super Bowl prediction. What's going on? Who y'all got getting to the Super Bowl and who y'all got winning it? Freddie, who you got?
Based off history, I would go right now with Niners and Ravens. But if I'm going to Vegas, I'm going with the Saints and the Chiefs.
Okay, so you got Saints and Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Who's taking that trophy home?
Oh man, the way this man playing, dog, I got Kansas City, man.
You got the Okay, we got KP raising his first Mad 19 banners. The dude got banners. KP got banners already in the rafters, man. He's definitely on Mount. Yeah, he definitely is on Mount Rushmore as far as when it comes to DML greatest users. So KP, shout out to him, man. Balling ain't nothing new to him, man. He's been doing this. So you got KP getting his first banner this cycle. Coming to you, Westside. Who you got in the Super Bowl and who you got taking it on?
I have a feeling it's going to be 2 teams in the Super Bowl that are both Super Bowl champions already. I think I'm going to have to go with the Saints and the Dolphins. And I think the Dolphins are going to come out on top.
Okay. So we got Tightwork hosting the second banner this cycle. My Super Bowl prediction, man, I'm going to go with the Baltimore Ravens. Getting in on the AFC side, and I'm going with the Saints, man, on the NFC side. All right, now it's gonna be a crazy Super Bowl this year. I got the New Orleans Saints, man, taking it, getting his 4th banner this cycle. Like it's hard to go against him, when he has his top threat, and he has his guys just flat out balling. So I got the Saints taking it this year. But it's going to be a crazy playoff. Like y'all said, man, nothing is a for sure win in the DML. So I'll make sure to see how these games going to kick off, man. I appreciate y'all jumping on the show with me, man. It's always good, when we just come on the show, chop it up about stuff that's going on in the DML, man, and just break down these teams. I'm your host, OG Chris Murray, man. We out.